Hey, John here again. So what you're looking at is a Tecumseh flathead, and it's got a pretty severe leak gas. The customer says runs good, but he shuts it off. Tank empties. This could be a couple things, so I'm going to look at it, but it could either be your float pin is stuck. The float could be screwed up. The actual float pin, the seat, the gasket there, that could be all hardened. But this is a pretty good leak here, so I'm kind of curious. I mean, it could also be the actual ring around the float bowl, but I don't think so. Just looking underneath, it appears it could be coming from the top somewhere, so let's take her apart and see what's doing. This is totally flooded, and it's dripping out of the carburetor here, so like I said, it could be this ring here, which it's not. You know, I'm saying it's not, but haven't taken it apart yet. Could be, I'll show you the float bowl. Could be stuck open. Could be the pin. Could be a lot of things. It also could be there's a little tiny vent here. You probably can't see. Let me see if I can zoom in here. It's just a really tiny hole here. That's a vent. So when you push your primer bulb, this should blow out some stuff. If it doesn't, it means it's clogged, and that could cause the gas to leak out too. But let me see here. Well, I didn't see anything come out of there, so I will clean that out. But sometimes that, like I said, that hole. Let me actually clean that out, because usually when you hit the primer bulb, you'll see some air or vapors come out of there. I didn't see nothing that time. It just kind of spilled out the carburetor. Let me try it again. Yeah, I don't know if that's clogged or not. So that'd be my first thing. If I don't see anything coming out of that little hole, then I'll clean that and move on to the next thing. I've done, you know, I just did a video not too long ago on these carburetors where this whole carburetor is only 13 bucks. So if it isn't something real easy, like maybe it's a float, has fluid in it or something. If it's not something real easy, either way, I'll probably just replace this carburetor. But let's see if it is just this vent hole. Hold on a second. Alright, so a friend of mine, Tom, got me these little tiny minuscule drill bits. In the end here, there's different sizes, but they're all microscopic. So that's what I'm going to clean this out with. But I used to clean them out with for years with just a little wire, really welding wire. Anything you got will fit in a hole there. But I don't know if this is clogged or not. We'll see here in a second. Wish I had my glasses, even though they don't work. Neither glasses. Can't see nothing. This wire is thinner than the drill bit. Let's see if I got poker in there. I'm gonna have to get my glasses. Can't see crap. Alright, so I'm in there, and it appears that is not really dirty because it went in there. And this drill bit, I might have got the wrong size. Thought I got the smallest one, which works, but can't seem to get it in the hole. You have to change the drill bit, but so it doesn't appear like this is bad. So I'm pretty sure it's got some vent going on because I can get the wire in there. As long as you can get it in there. Yeah, it's in there and it's going in and out pretty easy. So I don't think it's a vent hole. So next step, let's take this carburetor off. See if the actual float's stuck open. I don't know. Let's see. Alright, so this machine has a fuel shut-off. Otherwise, you'd have to clamp the fuel line, stop fuel from coming out of there. And on the bottom here is a little push valve to release the gas. Which, wow, there's a lot of gas in there. Holy macaroni. Oh, that can't be right. I wonder if that shut-off valve is even working. Still pissing out gas. Let me look. Oh, it wasn't cracked all the way. Can't be that much gas in there. Yeah, let's try this again. Wow, still a lot of gas in there. There it goes. Stop dripping already. And then just take yourself a little 11. Crack this thing open. Oh, backwards, dummy. Yeah, cold gas on the hands. Awesome. First thing I'm going to do is look at this high-speed jet, see if there's any crap on it, which I doubt. No, looks pretty clean. It looks pretty clean, but I'll go ahead and clean that up too. Anyways, we'll see if we can get this bowl out of here without interrupting the gasket. It looks pretty clean in there too. Well, chances are, see what I'm going to do is hold this up and turn the gas back on. If that gas pisses out of there, then there's no other problem except for the float pin is not seating into the float seat, which probably have these, but again, for $13, I think I'm just going to put another carb. This carb looks good though, so I don't know. Let me see. Let me hold that up and turn the gas on. First of all, get all this gas out of there. Ah, screw it. I got to take this float pin off, or this. I got to look at some. This is a plastic. I gotta get some pliers. I need to get some pliers. Get that pin out of there. Yeah, it's still coming out of there pretty good. It's a plastic float, and I want to know if there's actually any gas in the float itself. Which don't lose your pin. Where float needle. I don't hear nothing, so I'm assuming that's alright. Don't see nothing in there. It's clear. Wow, look at that thing piss out. The gas is off. It's still coming out of there pretty good. I'm kind of wondering if this engine didn't get flooded. Check the oil. Check the oil. Now the oil looks proper level. Ain't overfilled. So I gotta let this. I guess I'm gonna pinch that line off. Maybe that shut-off valve ain't doing a trick. It's leaking like a sieve. And when you put the float pin in, that's what my next thing is. I just want it to stop leaking. Then I'll put everything back together, put the float up, and see if that stops. But I gotta pinch that hose off. Hold on a second. I guess I'm just gonna have to live with it dripping because apparently that shut-off valve is not working properly. It's still dripping like a sieve, but unfortunately that hose on the other side is very brittle. I don't want to take a chance on cracking that. It's like hard as a rock. So anyways, this float pin, I'm going to try this adjustment first. This float, that tab, I'm going to, the pin would be like this, and when this float goes up, you know, goes up, it clogs the hole. This pin fits into a rubber gasket. Sometimes this piece is rubber itself, just goes up into a hole. It doesn't appear that this one is rubber, it's all metal, so there's a seat, they call it, up in there. And I'm going to try to get away with it by bending this little tab here. I don't know if you can see that. Because if you bend it, if you know it's pretty simple stuff. This closes, but this might be bent to where when the float is up, it's not enough to push this pin all the way up. So I'm going to pry this up just a hair, and just be careful not to break it off. Just use your finger. That might be too much. So I'm going to reinstall it here and see what kind of action I got there. Hold on a second. Alright, so I got it up on its nose so you can get a better look, but by bending that tab on the bowl itself up, see now the float stops there. That might be a little bit too much. Like I said, before taking this apart, this float went too far up and it wasn't sealing it properly. That's my guess. I'll know in a second. So bending that tab gives you more. See, you can open it here and then it seats there. Again, this I would like to see it a little more level. And pushing on this, it could probably bend the tab, but I'm going to put the bowl back on and see if this stops leaking, and if it runs wet, I'm going to leave it like that, because you know, that metal tab, and it's plastic, and you bend that too many times, you might break it off. So I don't know if you can see in there. I'll try to zoom in. That little tab, you can see it in there. That's all. Just bent it up a little bit. And let's see if that stops. Let me put the... So, in other words, when the bowl goes over, right? Zoom it back up. When the bowl goes over it, the gas fills up and pushes this up, and it seals it. Again, if the tab is bent or your seal is bad, if the tab is bent too far and this bowl goes up, you know, it just won't seal it, just because once it gets past level here, it just wasn't seating. So let's try this. Alright, so everything's back together, and the gas is back on, and there's absolutely no leaking going on, but might not be out of the woods yet, because like I said, I might have bent that up too much, but in other words, I might starve for gas, but we'll see what happens here in a second. It's already been 5-10 minutes, it's not leaking, so I don't think it's going to leak, but before it was just leaking right out of the carburetor. It was a pretty severe leak, so I don't think that pin was anywhere near clogging the hole. So we'll give it a little bit here, and I'll try to fire it up. I didn't make any adjustments to the carburetor yet, because I may not need to. I think it was just the guy said it was running fine before. It loses gas, so pretty sure it was just the pin float. But like I said, it could be this vent causes that. It could be a lot of things. You know, fuel lines. Generally speaking, it is that needle and seat, but it might seem a little tedious. And again, if it wasn't, you know, this easy just to bend a tab, and it got into, you know, taking that seat out of the hole up in there, that could be problematic. I mean, I just use a pick and pick it out and press a new one in with the float pin. But those are relatively cheap for a kit. It's like $5. But again, it's so easy to take this whole thing off. 2 screws. Undo the linkage, put a new carburetor on there. This carburetor does look decent, so that's why I just, you know, the difference between a float pin kit for $5 and a brand new carburetor that comes all assembled for $13. I don't buy the kits anymore, the float pin kits. I just put a new carburetor in it. But let's see if this did the trick. Alright, so I gotta prime it. So there's fuel in that bowl. Actually, I could just touch this. Wow, no gas coming out of there yet. Yep, might have went too far in that pin. Oh, no, there's gas there. There's gas there now, so just keep priming it. Now when the gas start pouring out, good to go. This thing should start right up. Choke it. It is cold outside. Now that I know that it starts and runs, just probably needs to warm up. I don't think it needs any tune, but I'm just going to wait another 5-10 minutes and see if that gas starts leaking again. If it does, I'm going to slap a new carburetor on it, but I think I got it licked just by bending that tab, so that's a real easy fix. I will monitor just to see if it leaks, but that's all I got for now. I think it's a good fix. Later. Thanks for watching.